Greetings everyone, my name is Gary Wolff, and in this video I'd like to discuss the subject area that I'll be covering in more detail at my online session on Sunday, November 22nd, beginning at 5:20 as part of the annual JALT 2020 National Conference. And my talk is entitled Motivating Students with the Quizizz Classroom app. In this video, I'll begin with just a quick thumbnail sketch of my background and how I got interested in classroom gamification for language learning. I'll introduce you to the Quizizz online learning platform. I'll then go over briefly the types of questions and quizzes that are available. And then I will actually show you a video of a game that was played in one of my classes recently. Then I will share with you some amazing features that this Quizizz platform has for assessing student performance in these games. And then we'll finish up with a few reference sources along with contact details on how you can reach me in the future. As for my background, I grew up in a small town in Texas. Maybe you've heard of it. We only have about 7 million people. No, all joking aside, it is the largest city in Texas. As you can see here, the fourth largest in America. And many people know Houston to be the home of the NASA Space Center. So Houston was, in fact, one of the first words ever spoken from the surface of the moon. I came to Japan nearly 3 decades ago, and I've worked as an English teacher, a corporate language trainer, and for the past 20 years as a university professor. It's been an interesting journey. About 4 years ago, actually a little longer than that, I started hearing quite a bit about Quizlet, and one of my colleagues at one of the universities where I teach encouraged me to use it in my classroom. So I took some time to learn it, started using it in our classrooms. I couldn't believe how excited the students got to use their smartphones in the classroom for vocabulary learning. And I actually wrote an article about Quizlet that appeared in the November 2016 issue in the Wired column of the language teacher. Now, I first heard about Quizizz a little over a year ago in the September issue of the language teacher with an excellent article written by a professor up at Utsunomiya University, Kento Sato. And because of that excellent article by Sato-san, I was able to learn more about the Quizizz online learning platform and started using it earlier this year. I'm still a newbie. I'm learning as we go along. But I wanted to share, in this presentation, share with you what I've learned so far. So what is Quizizz exactly? In my opinion, it's probably one of the most engaging online learning platforms for classroom use. And in some respects, it's very similar to the other online real-time classroom games like Kahoot and Quizlet. The difference is that this one is quiz-based. Teachers can basically make their own quizzes using a number of different types of questions and then allow the students to play the games in real time in the classroom using their mobile devices, or assign the quizzes as homework using asynchronous learning, and then set deadlines for, say, 1 week or 2 weeks into the future. One of the most impressive things about Quizizz is the assessments of the various reports that are generated to highlight the students' performance in these games. And one of the best things for me is that it's completely free. There is a paid version. I think it runs something about $60 a year, if I'm not mistaken, with lots of other bells and whistles of other features that are available. But I'm a pretty low-key user so far, so I haven't really felt any need to upgrade. Some of the various features that Quizizz has is that teachers can basically use 5 different types of questions, which I'll be showing you shortly. Students can choose between their mobile device or a PC when they're playing the live classroom games. Unlike Kahoot, students can see both the questions and the answer options on their devices. This is nice because you don't need a classroom projector, or students don't need to look at the teacher's PC if you're if you're doing emergency remote teaching, for example, using Zoom as I do with my students. And like Quizlet, the students can play in teams or individually. So it's pretty nice the way it's set up, actually. As for its effect on student motivation, Quizizz is similar to the other online real-time games I mentioned before, like Kahoot and Quizlet Live. I think students just they get really pumped about using their mobile devices in the classroom for language learning, and the way Quizizz in particular rewards the winners with a kind of a gold, silver, and bronze medal podium type situation where they really get recognized for winning. They really like to compete against the other students. It's very motivating and exciting for them to do that. And this, of course, is backed up by academic research. But when students enjoy these classroom activities, it can motivate them in terms of increasing their self-confidence, lowering anxiety. This gives them a much more positive feeling about learning English. And what I observed actually 10, 15 years ago is we sing a lot of English songs in my classrooms. And when students can enjoy some activities like that, it tends to have kind of a spillover effect for the other classroom activities as well. So in effect, increases their overall motivation. Okay, next I'd like to introduce to you the Quizlet website. Okay, just a quick introduction to the Quizizz website. After you first log in to your free account, you will see this page, which allows you to search for any quiz for just about any topic. If you scroll down the page, you'll see various categories in many different fields. And you can just browse through those. You can open these individual pages in the different categories, or you can just search millions and millions of quizzes that are available. All the ones that are public, you're free to copy into your own library, which I have done already on a few. You can also search your own library and any reports that have been developed on any quizzes that you've already played in your classrooms. If you click over here on My Library, that will open up a list of the quizzes that are in your library that you've either created yourself or that you have borrowed, copied, and saved from other quizzes that are public. Almost all of them are public to my knowledge. These are a few that I've created or saved in the past several weeks. If we click open quiz that I actually created just a few days ago, I used it last week for the first time in one of my classes. You can see a list of all the questions that are in that particular quiz. And if you want to play the game live in your classroom, you can click here where it says Start a Live Quiz. And that will give you the option of choosing the classic live quiz, which I recommend because that's where the students can basically compete in teams or compete against each other. They can see the leaderboard and the live results as the game is progressing, or the instructor paced option. We're going to go with classic today just to give you an idea of how that works. And on the next page, you can select a number of really detailed settings, basically on how you want to conduct the quizzes, whether you want to show the leaderboard or shuffle the questions, shuffle the answer options. There's a lot of really interested. You can totally geek out with all of the different settings that you've got there. Again, I prefer the classic mode. So if you click on the continue button, then you will see the page where the students will see. They can either type this URL into their browser on any device that they're using, phone, tablet, PC, enter the join code, or what's even easier for them is if you give them the direct link, which you can copy and paste into the chat window if you're using Zoom, which I am with my classes. And then when the students join, you'll see their names down here in this open space. And I always ask my students to use Ramaji. And then after everybody's joined, you'll see the number of students that have joined over here. When everybody has joined in your class, then you can go ahead and start the game. And I'll demonstrate that a little bit later in this presentation. I'll show you a live video of an actual game in progress. Here we go back to the other option for giving a quiz in your class. You can actually assign the quizzes for homework, and if you do that, this is good for asynchronous learning. And if you're using the basic plan, as I have, then you have the option of giving your students up to 2 weeks to submit their homework. You can see the dates after the 24th. I'm actually making this on the 10th of October, so you can see we've got the students would have 2 weeks to submit their homework. That's what you have available in the free basic plan, which I'm using. Okay. When you create a quiz, you have the option of 5 different types of questions. As for me, I've only used multiple choice and checkbox so far. They've also recently added a new option for slides, which is in conjunction with the new lesson option they have. It's a PowerPoint style lesson teaching platform that you can use as well. When you enter the questions and answers into Quizizz, you can either type them in manually or you can do a bulk import using an Excel spreadsheet. And as you enter those questions and answers, over on the right side, you'll be able to see how they will appear on the students' mobile devices. As with Google Forms, of course, you'll need to indicate the correct answer. And down here in the lower left, you have the option of selecting the amount of time students have to answer those questions, anywhere from 5 seconds up to 15 minutes. So it's a pretty broad range there. And of course, you'll need to save your question before you move on to the next one. So now why don't we take a look at an actual live Quizizz game that was played in one of my classes this past week. Everybody ready? Let's go. Let's start the game. Okay, well, we've got the top three winners there. We Most of the students have already been finished there for quite a while, so we need to go ahead and end the game. So congratulations to Ryoya, Shiori S, and Shiori A. The two Shioris are taking the silver and gold medals. How about that? Let's go ahead and finish the game here and look at the final medal count here. The medal standings. They should be displaying here in just a moment. There we go. There we go. Here we go. And congratulations again to Ryoya, first place. Shiori, yes, second place. And oh, Marty snuck in there for third place. How did that happen? Anyways, and there's the very detailed summary of the questions, whether you got them right or wrong, which ones. And so congratulations. Congratulations to our winners today. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, after the game is finished, the quiz highlights are displayed, and they give you some interesting statistics, such as the overall class accuracy on the questions, the toughest questions, the question that took the longest for students to answer, and other miscellaneous interesting facts. In this case, the number of questions that had less than 40% accuracy. Now on the same quiz highlights page, I've just scrolled down for this screenshot. You can see some very detailed statistics showing the percent accuracy on each of the questions. You can see the percent accuracy for each of the student scores. And interestingly, if you're actually viewing this on the website, if you mouse over these individual check marks or X marks, you can see the number of seconds that the students took for each one of those to answer each one of those questions. And this data can, of course, be downloaded in an Excel spreadsheet. And to show the students the correct answers, then you'll need to click on this review questions, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next slide. When you review the questions with your students, you have the option of hiding the answers if you'd like to do that. Correct answers are indicated in green, wrong answers in red, and then you can also see the number of students that answered each of the options there. Additional information would include the accuracy for this in percentage of this particular question, the average number of seconds that the students took to answer the question, and then sometimes additional information. In this case, this is the question that took the students the longest amount of time to answer in this particular quiz. Now I wanted to take just a few minutes to share with you a quick video clip of some of the student assessment features that are available through reports, which are automatically generated every time you play a game. So let's click over here where it says reports, and that will show you the various reports that are generated like I say, every time you play the game. Let's go ahead and look at the same game that you've already seen twice in this presentation. And if we click that page open, you'll see a list of scores for each of the students. This is just a general score showing their number of questions they've gotten right or wrong, total score, the option of emailing their parents. I'm sure our university students would be thrilled about that. You can sort this. You can sort these scores by different categories. You can also display the questions, and this is a little bit more detailed report showing you how many students answered each question various ways, which the number of students that chose the individual answers for each question. which is pretty interesting. You can get even more, you can drill down to even more detail here where this report shows you exactly which questions the students got right and wrong for each of the 10 questions in this particular quiz. Now, what's also amazing, I think, is that the system automatically generates flashcards for all of these questions in the quiz. And I might add that I didn't have to lift a finger for any of these. This was automatically generated by Quizizz. So if the students have their own Quizizz accounts, then they can apparently come in and use these flashcards to follow up on some of the things that you've tried to teach them in the quiz. So that's question 1, and if you flip it, then you get the answer. If you press on the space bar, you can just flip it back and forth. And then the students can decide whether they've learned it well enough to where they can just click got it, and it won't keep reappearing when they study again. Or if it needs review, if they haven't quite learned it, it's kind of like the space repetition algorithm used in other similar learning platforms. But if they click got it, then it goes to the next question. Again, they can flip it over as many times as they'd like to until they learn it. But I think it's a pretty amazing feature, and that's just another option that's available as part of using Quizizz. And here are just a few reference sources, including the article by Professor Sato that I mentioned before, as well as my own written 4 years ago about Quizlet Live. So thank you very much for your kind attention. I hope you'll be able to join us on November 22nd for our online session. In the meantime, feel free to contact me with any questions or comments, and thanks again. Cheers.